This is a tutorial for 6th grade science about the equipment we will use this year. First, we're going to talk about the beaker. The beaker comes in many different sizes, and we use a beaker to hold fluids usually. Beakers are not used for measurement. They are just simply used to hold liquids. They have measurements on them, so we can have a guesstimate of how much liquid or fluid is in it. But we do not use these to measure volume of a liquid. The thing that we do use to measure volume also comes in different sizes. It can be glass or plastic, and it is called a graduated cylinder. It measures volume in milliliters. When you use a graduated cylinder, you want to make sure that you look at the numbers and see how it counts up. This one counts up by twos, but it's odd. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. That's going to be important to understand when you're reading the graduated cylinder. Here's just one more example of what a graduated cylinder could look like. When you read a graduated cylinder, the water tends to kind of stick to the side of the graduated cylinder, and it dips down. And when you're reading it, you always want to look at the bottom of it. Looks wonky, but you always want to look at the bottom of the line right here, and this is where you're going to read it. So I would come here, and whatever number that was, that would be my measurement for the graduated cylinder. So graduated cylinders measure volume of a liquid in milliliters. Another item we will be using this year is a spring scale. Spring scales measure force in newtons. They might also measure in grams, mass or weight in grams. Newtons, grams. We have several different types of spring scales. Here's another example. And another one. Basically, somebody is going to hold this, and you can pull something that's attached. You can pull something and see how much force there is. You can hold it up in the air. And another example here. All of these are types of spring scales you will see in the science lab this year. You will also be using thermometers. This is a simple, basic thermometer that we use to measure temperature. And in science, we measure in Celsius. The next item that we will talk about are safety goggles. There's two types of goggles. Well, really, these are goggles. You can wear these. They prevent things from getting into your eye if it splashes. So this is a splash guard. You have vents so that it doesn't fog up, and it's protecting your eyes from getting chemicals in it. You might also wear safety glasses. We don't use those when we have liquids. We just use that in case something breaks so we don't get material in our eye. We use these specific goggles if we have heat, chemicals, or glass. Anytime we have glass, heat, or chemicals, this type of goggle should be worn during science class to keep your eyesight safe. This item is a hand lens. A hand lens. It helps us to observe and see things closer. You can see as I move it across the words, it changes the view a little bit. Hand lens or magnifying glass. Another item you might see this year is a petri dish. We will mainly use petri dishes to hold things. We have a lid and a base. Petri dishes can be used in biology to grow bacteria, but they're kind of just handy to hold things that are small or might roll around. So that's what we'll use it for in our class. And that's all the material you have to know for right now as far as safety or science equipment in your science classroom for 6th grade.